In the final scene of Descendants: The Rise of Red, Uhmm says, "Getting what you want might be dangerous, especially when you mess with the fabric of time. You didn't think that was the end of the story, did you?" What does that tell us? It means there will be a Descendants 5 and it'll change everything. What aspects of their lives have Chloe and Red unknowingly altered by changing the events of the past? They have certainly changed a lot, not only in their lives, but that of the other heroes and villains too. And in today's video, we'll be talking about some of the things that will be different in Descendants 5 as a result of Chloe and Red's time travel. So come along as we visit the fantasy world of Wonderland and Auradon Prep. In 2015, Disney released the first Descendants, and it is set in the United States of Auradon, 20 years after Belle and Beast united the kingdoms and banished all villains to the Isle of the Lost. Their son Ben plans to become king, and he initiates a program inviting 4 children of villains. You know, the VK. Carlos, son of Cruella de Vil, Jay, son of Jafar, Evie, daughter of Evil Queen, and Mal, daughter of Maleficent, to live in Auradon. Maleficent orders the VKs to steal the fairy godmother's wand to break the barrier around the Isle, but as the VKs adapt to their new life, they begin to enjoy a normal childhood. Mal starts a relationship with Ben and eventually decides to be good. Maleficent, after transforming into a dragon, is defeated and turned into a small lizard. The people of Auradon celebrate. The end. In Descendants 2, Mal struggles with her new life as Ben's girlfriend in Auradon and secretly uses magic to maintain a perfect image. Feeling out of place, she returns to the Isle of the Lost, where her rival Uhmm is now the leader. Ben, Evie, Jay, and Carlos go to bring Mal back, but she rejects Ben, thinking she belongs on the Isle. Uhmm captures Ben and demands the fairy godmother's wand for his release. Although Ben respects Uhmm and invites her to Auradon, she refuses. Mal and her friends rescue Ben with the fake wand. Yada yada yada. Uhmm casts a spell on Ben. Mal breaks it with true love's kiss. Mal and Uhmm then battle, but Uhmm leaves unreconciled. In the end, Ben agrees to bring more children from the Isle to Auradon.
Let's go, bring it on!
In the third film, Ben proposes to Mal, making her the future queen of Auradon. From being a rejected VK to being a queen. Must be nice. However, new threats emerge from Uhmm, Mal's father Hades, and Ben's ex-girlfriend Audrey, who turns evil after stealing Maleficent's crown and scepter. No surprise, really. As Mal, Evie, Jay, and Carlos recruit a new generation of villain kids, Hades attempts to breach the barrier. The VKs return to the Isle of the Lost to retrieve Hades' ember, and later, Uhmm, Harry, and Gil join forces with Mal and her friends to stop Audrey from destroying Auradon. How the tables turn, huh? In the 2024 spin-off, Uhmm is now the headmistress of Auradon Prep, and she invites Princess Red, daughter of the Queen of Hearts, to the school, reopening the border with Wonderland. During the opening ceremony, the Queen of Hearts launches a coup, taking attendees hostage and forcing Red to condemn Cinderella to treason. Red uses a magic pocket watch to go back in time, accidentally bringing Cinderella's daughter Chloe with her. They arrive at Merlin Academy, which used to be Auradon Prep, where they meet their mothers as teenagers and work to prevent a prank that turned the Queen of Hearts evil. Returning to the present, Red is relieved to see that their actions have led to a happier outcome, but Uhmm hints that meddling with time may have dangerous consequences. Given the development of the plot throughout the Descendants franchise, it's no doubt that the 5th installment will be a smashing hit, not just because it's the 5th movie, but because of the events leading up to it. Here are some plot twists we expect to see in the movie. In the final scene of Descendants: The Rise of Red, it seems like the Queen of Hearts is no longer evil. If this is true and the Queen is softened by the changes Red and Chloe made in the past, her rule over Wonderland might become less tyrannical. This could lead to a fight for power where other ambitious characters like the Mad Hatter attempt to rule. With the Queen of Hearts less aggressive, Wonderland's culture could shift from one of chaos and, evil to a more whimsical and fairy tale-like environment. The famous "off with their heads" line might be replaced with less threatening punishments.
Off with her head!
This could lead to a Wonderland that is still bizarre but less dangerous, and that would change the entire story. What's Wonderland if the Queen doesn't request for someone to be headed every once in a while? By changing the past, Red and Chloe might have inadvertently created new enemies or villains. Someone who is affected by their actions could seek revenge, or a villain from the past might make an appearance in the new movie to execute some evil plan. Let's take Yolana as an example. In the past, Red and Chloe thwarted Yolana's plan to humiliate Bridget, the young Queen of Hearts. This might lead to Yulana holding a grudge against Red and Chloe. In the present, Yulana could return as a powerful new villain, seeking revenge for what the girls did to her. It would be so nice to see her in the next movie, though. We're curious to see what her relationship with Uma will look like. In the Descendants movie, Red might realize that her actions have altered who she is. If her mother is no longer the evil Queen of Hearts, Red might feel like she's lost a part of herself. She might have an identity crisis where she questions her role in Oradon and whether her decision to change the past was the right one. Chloe too might face a situation where she realizes that preventing the coup wasn't entirely beneficial. Her mother, Cinderella, might no longer be the kind gentlewoman we know her to be. She might turn into a villain. No one wants to see Cinderella being wicked, but the girls might have altered everything we know about Disney fairy tales. By altering time, the borders between different magical realms like Oradon and Wonderland could become unstable. This might result in characters from one world spilling into another. For example, Wonderland's chaos could start affecting Oradon. That would be weird, right? Characters might even forget some events that happened in the past or remember them differently. All in all, we're expecting Descendants 5 to be very chaotic. Thanks to Red and Chloe's little trip to the past, we know it's going to be different this time around. And everything we know about Disney heroes, villains, and fairy tales may be altered.